Hello, Tom Kenney here, and Melanie and I are off on another vacation. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. We're on our way through parts of Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Yummy.
Yeah, what's your channel?
M.R. Kenney.
Gravel, 10% grade down, hairpin turns, no guardrails.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Cool view. I'd say it's stretched out, it's 5 feet long. You can see the Colorado River through the window. Kind of like this just wall of lava here.
With a camera sitting on top of the car. Camera flew off into the middle of the highway.
Standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Some of this still looks like it's real wood. This is Shiprock. I just think it looks cool.
We're in Bailey, Colorado on our way through, and just saw a sign, so we thought we'll pull over and check this place out.
This one is right up our alley.
Recording. Now this was made in 1967 by two rodeo cowboys who were, lo and behold, one
Gonna
day
go in and listen to this.
they came across So as you can see, this is an extremely shaky image. The reason being that Roger Patterson, who was carrying the camera, was on horseback. And when they came across Patty, as we know her now, on the opposite side of Bluff Creek, his horse freaked out, as did Gimlin's horse.
On his 8mm movie camera to document their trip. It insisted on two things. One, it was walking on two legs, and two, it was not human. We will let you judge for yourselves as you watch this short video and determine whether or not this is the earliest known footage of Bigfoot. 62 in the Roosevelt National Forest of Colorado. Boy Scout Troop 86 had come down from Omaha, Nebraska for 10 days of high altitude survival training.
tendon in
Fell
her
started
right
him,
knee.
and years later,
She bends her
he
leg.
insisted on 2 things.
I'm actually only about 5'11". We're getting closer to our stop for the night in Durango, and just taking a quick stop here at Wolf Creek Pass, which is right on the Continental Divide. As is our usual luck, there are forest fires up north with all the smoke blowing down this way. So our views of the mountains through most of Colorado have been really obscured. Just a little further down the road, about 73 miles out of Durango yet. Nice high fence so you can't fall off. Wednesday, July 24th. We're in Durango, standing in front of the train that's on its way to Silverton. We're not taking the train today, we've done that before, but we are driving up to Silverton and then beyond that this morning. A lot longer than I remember. Stopping at Molas, M-O-L-A-S, Molas Pass, 10,910 feet.
Spend so much time burying nuts and stuff like that. That's about to be winter, and then get it into left. They're so worried about things that they have a food store and they can't find. There's actually a comedian I like that has a thing about that.
Pretty hazy in the distance, and Melanie will tell us why.
It's due to the wildfires up in Jasper, Canada. Yesterday, they had to evacuate quickly, and some people didn't even get to go back to their hotels to get their belongings. But the news said that the weather quality in Denver was the worst in the whole world because of the fires. And when we were driving up, we could even kind of smell it in the air.
Okay, Silverton's at about 9,275 feet by our car. And we're now gonna follow that same highway up to Ouray. And this is supposed to be a real white knuckle drive.
So is it this way?
Yes. It's a 24-mile drive, and Melanie has volunteered to drive the white knuckle route while I operate the camera. This road was actually completed in 1883, although Highway 550 that we're on the paved road was completed in 1926. This is called the $1 Million Highway for evidently several reasons. One is that it just costs so much to pave the highway. And number two is evidently there might be a lot of gold left in the dirt, the ground underneath the highway that wasn't mined out before they started working. And lastly, it's the $1 million views of the San Juan Mountains. All right, now it's getting fun. I think that's one of the few spots with guardrails. Evidently, they get tons and tons of snow up here, and so they just plow it off the edge. If the guardrails were there, they would have nowhere to put the snow. Plenty of big vehicles on the road, though. Wow.
Really cut that corner.
I'm surprised how busy this road is. Speed limit sign on this hairpin turn said 15 miles an hour. The last one said 10. Yeah, this is a snow shed. Might just keep this on. Looks like it's going to get scary up here. Car show. Check this out. Wow.
On your side of the road, boy. He's way over. He's literally taking up the whole road.
Okay, back on the road. Looks like a cool little deep in the mountains town. Quick break for a light lunch, and we're watching some rock climbers. Well, one of the stops I'd planned to make was to see some dinosaur footprints that are left up here. And from what I thought, this was a short trail. Like, I thought maybe a quarter mile. This is 2.1 miles and a 1,600 foot elevation gain. And we're already at 9,300 feet. So I'm totally unprepared for this. So I think we're gonna skip it. Stopping for a minute just to get the color in these mountains. But the sun is not on them at the moment. The mining towns are here in the 1880s. I guess that's why the road was originally built out here. Stopping for peaches. Looking for possible ice cream. Okay, we're gonna walk the streets a little bit. Looks like this is where the train comes in at. And we're gonna go up this way to the main street. See what we can find. We parked on Blair Street, coming over to Green Street.
Take a picture of me with my ice cream cone.
This must be the best place. It's the one with the long line. Yummy. Looks like the train is loading up. Stopping again at Molas Pass. just to get this sweep again with different light, different haze. Looks like we got one more stop. This is literally right on the highway. This is pretty strange. Just this hot spring here right next to the road. And this, it's a giant pile of mineral deposits with the water coming out of it. Back in Durango. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. And we're just going to take a little walk on the kind of river walk here, along a path that leads along the Animas River. Lots of tubers. We're admiring this guy's backyard setup. Yeah, if you know where to look, you'll be on YouTube in a couple weeks.
Yeah, what's your channel?
M.R. Kenney. I don't think the camera picks up just how much this bridge rocks, as in moves back and forth. This almost looks creepy. It looks scary.
Kind of creepy.
That's what I just said. It looks creepy. I guess it leads up to Sunshine. Downtown Durango, looking for something to eat. Just wanted to get the guy playing the piano in a crowded, old-time looking bar, but we're looking for pizza. Main Avenue looks a little different now than the mural. This is one of several places that said they were the best in town, but this one got the best reviews. Good. Thursday, July 25th, and we left Durango at about 7:15 this morning, and we're now in southeastern Utah, and it's about 10 o'clock, so we've been driving for a little while, have a little bit farther to go, but there's just an interesting piece of road in front of us, so we thought we'd show you what that looks like. Okay, on Highway 261, heading south, and we're about to go down what's known as the Moki Dugway. This is about 3 miles of gravel, 10% grade down, hairpin turns, no guardrails. Should be fun. Before we really get started, we're stopping here just to look over the Valley of the Gods. And you can see most of the road we're going to be taking down this cliffside. So probably show you what it looks like. Zoom in on a few spots here. I don't know if the camera's picking up all this sound. Okay, back to the drive. Wait. Is it on?
Yeah.
We're rolling. And this is the cliffside we just came down. And right up here is where they're working on the road. You can just barely see the top of a guy's white truck up there. And they're working right under that big roundish boulder out on the edge of the cliff. I'll also pan across the Valley of the Gods now that we're down at the bottom. here's our next stop. Also got parts of Monument Valley off in the distance. Got to go down here just because it's there. I might need both hands. That was a little harder than I thought with one hand on the camera. Quick stop to view the Mexican Hat Rock. Have to get my shot standing in the middle of the road on Forrest Gump Hill. I'm sure everybody wants a spot with nobody in the road, but I kind of want to do it the other way, with people in the road. I'm having Melanie drive so that I can shoot a lot of shots through here. We're not going to take the road that actually goes down through the valley and gets close to some of the big rock formations. We've done that before, years ago. But I might shoot a lot of windshield video as we go through, just because it's one of my favorite places. The backdrop for many old John Wayne westerns. Same view from the other side. The two most famous buttes are the Mitten Buttes. We really can't get a good look at them without driving into the Navajo Tribal Park and taking the road back there and paying money. So we decided not to do that. Alright, we're at Navajo National Monument. Gonna take about a 1 1/4, 1 1/3 mile round trip trail to see some ancient ruins. And it's It was 100 degrees as we were driving up here, but it's a mere 89 now, since I think we climbed in elevation. We're up about 7,300 feet or so. This is out and back paved trail. New boards on the bridge, just replaced today. Several bridges with new boards. I think they're still working.
Okay, thank you. You guys have been busy.
Yep.
This is the Beta-Taken village, occupied in the 1280s.
They were actually Hopi Indians that were here. Hopi people.
Beta-Taken is a Navajo word that means house on a ledge.
They thought there were about 135 rooms, and 100 to 125 people would have lived there.
Evidently those are pretty common in Navajo country. Sitting at a drive-thru in Page, Arizona, getting something to eat. Really just wanted to record this. It's 100 degrees. Just more interesting scenery. We came from this direction. Had all these cliffs on our right. I guess they're still on our right. But I don't really know where the road goes. I don't know if it goes into these cliffs or around all these. I have to wait and see. This is just less than a mile past that last shot. Didn't see this coming, didn't know it was here. So we're going to walk out onto this bridge. It's actually really big. I mean, wide. Here's the highway bridge that we just crossed. The underside of this pedestrian bridge looks just like this other highway bridge.
So this bridge that's now closed was originally the bridge for vehicles and pedestrians. I think it said it was completed in 1928, but as vehicles got heavier, they needed a stronger bridge, so they decided they needed to build the one that currently is used by vehicles. But they said that the engineers on the original bridge did such a good job, they used the same cantilever method for building the new bridge. So when this bridge was constructed, it was the only way for 600 miles to be able to cross the Colorado River.
Yeah, I was going to jump the 467 feet. So the highway does follow this gigantic horseshoe of cliffs. Turns a corner down there and then comes back along these. And of course the reason it doesn't just cut across the top of the horseshoe is because there's nowhere to cross the Colorado River. Still driving along the Vermilion Cliffs. I came upon this. this long stretch of highway. Getting close to 8 o'clock. Now, this is cool.
Here, you could pull in right here.
I'll drive by the big herd. Boy, they are right there. This one patiently waiting for us.
I think so.
Whoa.
Or not.
A little after 8 o'clock in the morning on the North Rim. It's Friday, July 26th. Show you what a room looks like. There's not a whole lot to it. World's smallest bathroom. I hardly even fit. No air conditioning in there. So we had the fan on and the windows open all night, but it wasn't bad at all. The real story is we got in late last night, late meaning after dark, and didn't have any idea where the visitor center was or where the lodge actually was. I mean, there were big parking lots, but we didn't know where to check in at. So we parked at the end of some long lots, asked somebody where to go, and then walked down to the place where we could check in the lobby. And then they sent us to our room, which is kind of a motel-style building that was probably 700 steps from the lobby in the dark. So we got smart and went to the car and got a flashlight, and it was just pitch black everywhere. Nothing's really lit. There are lights right outside some of the rooms. But other than that, walking through the parking lot and walking out in front of these buildings, it was just pitch dark. But there are maybe a couple hundred cabins here, as well as these couple of motel-style buildings. So there's actually quite a bit of space up here, I mean, as far as accommodating people. And it's actually not full, which was really surprising. Our room is kind of on the back side of this building, away from the parking lots. So looking off this way last night, it was just like looking at a black sheet. Had no idea what was over here. But we'll walk around to the front, and we're going to head for the car. These sidewalks are easy enough to maneuver in the dark, but... And I guess these stairs were lit too. But once we walked up to this road, you could barely even tell that there were steps across the way. Alright, the lobby where we checked in is down here. Like I said, there are just tons of cabins. There's this row of them here, and that row goes back, I don't know, several rows deep. I mean, there's a lot of them. I talked to the ranger in the visitor center and asked him how many bison are in the park. He said they estimate there are around 400 of them, which is more than the Park Service wants. And I don't know what we saw last night, but at least 50, maybe 60, I don't know. I thought that was a big herd. It is a clear, still morning. I'll pan around the lobby just because it looks cool. I'll get Melanie and then we'll check out this view. I had to pull Melanie out of the gift shop. I'm not sure if we mentioned on this video or not, but the Bright Angel Point Trail is the most popular trail in the park, and it is closed. It probably will be all year, so we're not going to do that today. Well, that does go way down. We're just walking around the lodge for a little bit, and then we are going to take a longer trail. Some people enjoying the view, some just looking at their phones like they would at home. Kind of have to wait in line to get to the selfie point. I'll have to go over here in a minute before we actually start our hike. Another spot to wait in line.
See that? He's living on the edge, isn't he? That's his best life. That's crazy. Hopefully a hawk. Oh, he's alive. Oh, look at him. He's like standing on the
He's posing for pictures, right?
He is the right kind of...
This side canyon is the transept. So our trail is going to run right along the right edge of it for about 1.5 miles.
Did you get it, Emma? Yeah.
And then back. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
We're thinking this is our building, where our room is. It definitely climbs here. Hope there's a good view up here. Cool view. This is a nice spot. They put in a picnic table there. Worth it. A little downhill and then more uphill. I'm trying to decide whether this little side path is supposed to be used or not. There's a pretty serious drop off right here. Getting to the end, the campground is just up the hill on our right. So we're almost to our stopping point. Okay, one last viewpoint. Weather-wise, we got a perfect day. That doesn't always happen. We've gotten up to just behind the general store at the campground, and now we're going to take an unoccupied campsite and have a little bit of a snack. My comments on the trail are I thought it was great. It was relatively easy, some few ups and downs, and several really good viewpoints. So it was fun. Now we just need to make the return trip.
It's a great morning to be on the North Rim.
Well, I'd put the camera away for the return hike, but supposedly there's a great big snake up here. We're going to see if we can find it. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Let's see if the camera will pick this up. Just sitting there.
You know what kind it is?
No. It's not a rattlesnake.
No.
And I guess I don't know what else lives in the territory here.
Yeah, neither do we.
But it's not going to be venomous.
You don't think?
Nope. Not that I'm going to try to pick it up or anything. Although I could.
Yeah, I'll be over on the other side of the canyon.
Whoa! Scared you guys, didn't I?
Oh, you're good.
I'd say it's stretched out, it's 5 feet long. Pretty cool looking. But I don't see a rattle on the end of the tail, so I'm not really worried about it. And it seems pretty content to just sit there. That was kind of fun. There were a couple guys there with us, a couple of 20-something athletic-looking guys trotting along the path past us, you know, like there's nothing to it, not sweating, nothing like that. But they were scared to death of that snake. They were going way around it till I walked a little bit towards it. Point out where we're going.
We are here at the general store. We just enjoyed some ice cream treats. We're gonna go out Cape Royal Road out to Point Imperial.
And then?
Oh, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna end up over here at Cape Royal. The Angel's Window.
And it's a pleasant 80 degrees. And just for the record, we're up at 8,291 feet at the moment. Hard to get it all in here. This is the highest point on the North Rim. Colorado River is 7 miles away. Short trail to take here. not like really very used trail here. I don't think so, but this trail might actually go out here. I think it does. Now that I look. But I don't know if we'll go any farther or not. I'm wondering about this guy. We are maybe 10 feet from it.
Looking for a handout.
He doesn't seem to be worried about us at all. This is a 0.8 mile round trip paved trail. Should be easy and fun. And there's signs along the way, and we're going to learn about what?
The vegetation. But Tom doesn't care about botany.
But I said I didn't. I didn't care about botany. That is pretty cool. I can't zoom in any more than that, but you can see the Colorado River through the window. That's actually a pretty cool view.
It's very cool.
We go right to Cape Royal, but we will go out to that viewpoint over the window.
Taking a picture from over there.
With
my bright colored shirt.
Oh yeah, you'll be in everybody's shot. Not sure where we were standing before. Getting the river that looks green. I'm sure the pictures just don't give you an idea of how far down that is, or just how big everything is.
Noch nicht nächstes Mal. Das ist krass, das ist riesig. Ja, wenn man mal mit Helikopter bin ich auch auf diesen Töpfchen da am Landen. Was? Aber ich denke, ich will es jetzt sehen, aber ich sehe wirklich nichts. Ich denke, dass es gedauert hat, bis ich kommen und das ist so grün. Ich habe wirklich gemeint, ich habe gelesen mit Landungen. War nur
hard to see. A little bit haze out there. Big mountain way out in the distance. We're not sure what that is. But on a clear day, you're supposed to be able to see 100 miles. More shots of the river because you really can't see it from the south rim. So that was pretty interesting, that sign. The north rim gets a lot more rain and snow and just erodes a lot more. So that's why the south rim, the cliffs are almost straight up and down to the river and you can't see the river. Here, it just looks a lot different. At the moment, we're all alone out here. It's just weird. I mean, sometimes there's big crowds, and then times like this, it's just, there's just nothing as far as people go. So it's really cool. And lastly, we have the Walhalla overlook. Just have to make sure we stop at them all. Back to the main lobby of the lodge. And it's kind of a secret room underneath the place. Not really that secret. Cool view out the window. See if I can get more ravens flying in it. Maybe not. Okay, the rim to rim Kaibab Trail starts up here somewhere and goes down through this canyon here and then down to the Colorado River and then very steeply up the cliffs on the other side. Just sitting here looking through the window waiting for the sunset and watching it rain in the distance. I've seen several big bolts of lightning off in the rain.
Remember that like cloudy sunset almost? And
Got over 21,000 steps. Oh, Melanie got over 22. How in the world do you do that? It's Saturday morning, July 27th. We're a little ways out of Flagstaff, Arizona, and we're going to visit some Native American ruins here. And it's hot, upper 90s, really windy. So this should be fun. A couple places that we're going to see here. So people lived here between 1100 and 1200. Yes, let's go down to the blowhole. Heading down to a blowhole, which I think is going to be like an entrance to a cave. Probably really small, but there's supposed to be cool air blowing out of it.
It's an airflow from under the ground. It's like shanks, a gas.
Okay, we'll check out the blowhole. Okay, we're adjusting our schedule here. There's a volcanic crater, Sunset Crater, that is almost right next to us here, but we're changing plans to get down to another place that might be about an hour from here because they close early. So we're going to go down there first to see that, then come back up this way to do a little hike around the volcanic crater, and hopefully it'll be a little cooler. Next stop, just outside of Flagstaff. In fact, we might even be in the city limits. The hike starts basically right in the visitor center. You go in the front door, walk out the back, and you're immediately going downstairs. We're here to see ancient dwellings in the cliffs, and there are a lot of them. I've got our start time at exactly 2 o'clock. I haven't been counting, but it feels like a lot of steps. Both sides of the canyon are kind of lined with them. Canyon's pretty cool with or without the old dwellings. It's nice in the shade with the breeze. So evidently they came down here in the winter time. Something new around every corner.
So what they would do is they'd hang a blanket or skin or something down to almost cover the door, and then the wind would come in the bottom, pick up the smoke from the fire inside, and then come out this hole. So they didn't have smoke where they were living.
Ingenious. Quite a row of pretty big rooms here.
Apparently in the 1890s it was common practice to come down here and try to loot and take things or find souvenirs. So that's why there are no walls here. It's all been destroyed.
Proof that we made it. No problem.
Yay!
Little water, a couple breaks. No big deal. Here we have a pit house. Some other ruins over here. Earlier today we were at Wupatki, where there were the ruins and the blowhole. Then we kind of went out of our way to go down to Walnut Canyon because we were going to take kind of a strenuous hike down there, and it closed at 4 o'clock, so we had to get there on time. So now we've come back to near the Wupatki area, and we are at Sunset Crater, which was a giant volcano that erupted 1,000 years ago. I might have to look that up. And we're going to go around some lava flows, and then take a look at what the volcano looks like. You can't get up to the top or look in it or anything. It's just kind of a black mountain. Not behind me at the moment. This is like black sand. That's what the feel of it is. All of the black lava reminds me of Hawaii. This is just a short little loop through the lava. And there was a huge fire here not too long ago, and a lot of the trees are burned from the fire. 1 more mile. Sunset Crater here, this mountain, about 1,000 feet high, and it erupted just right out of the flat forested ground about 1,000 years ago. This is a cinder cone type of volcano, and then it just grew up like that as it was erupting. They used to let people walk up it, but they don't anymore because it was destroying the landscape, so they've stopped doing that. But again, the volcano is about 1,000 feet high, and evidently the crater at the top is like 300 feet deep. You really don't think of Arizona when you think of volcanoes, but evidently it's a big volcanic area, so I didn't really know that. And volcanoes in Hawaii, when all the ash and things fall, with the wet weather, it actually makes good soil. But here in Arizona, where it's so dry, it just kind of doesn't do anything at all. The big fire came through here just a few years ago, so there's lots of remnants of that. lava tube here, but they obviously don't want you to go in. This is a splatter cone. This is where lava is forced up through the already cooling lava sitting on the side of the volcano. The lava looks black until you see the burnt trees. Be easy to roll down that hill. Kind of like this just wall of lava here. I guess they gave us stairs to get up that big wall of lava. Alright, that might wrap up activities for the day. I got over 10,000 steps today, 21 yesterday, 10 the day before, so I'm getting a little exercise in. And I think Melanie beats me all the time.
Wait for it. 10,789.
Yeah, I'm only at 10,368. Sunday the 28th. I'm walking down the side of the interstate because we took off out of our hotel with a camera sitting on top of the car. Took off on the interstate, heard something. Took me a minute to figure out what it was. Camera flew off into the middle of the highway. Had to stop and go back and get it. It appears to be working, although my microphone broke. I think. Might have to glue it together. I think it'll still work. Man, that was lucky. All right, we're back to driving. Still just sort of marveling at the fact that...
You're not driving.
Yeah, I'm not driving. But we're marveling at the fact that we actually drove 3 or 4 blocks at least before we went up the on-ramp onto the interstate. And it actually fell off right as we were entering the interstate and the end of the on-ramp. So the camera had bounced out into a spot between the entry lane and the actual lane of the highway. So it probably wasn't going to get run over. But the tripod was right in the middle of the on-ramp. So it may even have gotten run over, but it seems to be fine. So Melanie says, I'm lucky that I rubbed Brightly's nose, the donkey statue at the North Rim, because that brought me good luck. Well, I've examined the camera. It's got a few scratches on it, but really superficial, almost nothing. I think the fact that it had the microphone on top and the tripod on the bottom, I think that both of those may have taken a lot of the heavy blows. Because it kind of knocked the tripod off, which is really not supposed to come off. And then the microphone broke. So, again, super, super lucky. We're at the Meteor Crater outside of Winslow, Arizona. Most of the area looks like this behind me. It's just so flat and wide open and there's nothing out here. And from a distance, this just looks like some fairly low hills until you get up here and then you realize you're on the rim of this gigantic. I think we'll go down to the lowest deck first. We didn't take the guided tour. Hard to believe we're actually alone at one of these observation points. I know you kind of lose perception. This might help a little bit. Sign said inside 20 football fields can fit down the bottom. This doesn't look very good, but this is through one of those telescopes. There's a little astronaut down there. I'll have to zoom in on this shot and see if we can find the astronaut. It's all the closer I get. Well, as I said, we were here 40 years ago. The crater's the same. Everything else is way different, way better, really nice. The only thing I really remember about being here before is we locked our keys in the car in the parking lot. And I don't really remember how we got in. I think I came inside, got a coat hanger from somebody. And in those days, you could shove a coat hanger down inside the window, inside the door, hook onto the mechanism to unlock the door. Back in the 70s, when I was in high school, the Eagles were big. And in their hit song, Take It Easy, there's a line that says, standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. There's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Glenn Fry from the 70s. Sorry, he's now deceased. Get a shot of the whole corner. Constant stream of people and cars. All right, look this up later. I believe this is a Stratocaster. About 12:30 now, heat of the day, although the heat is down to about 91. So and it's breezy, windy, so we'll take some hikes here and see how hot it really is. Okay, we're off on the Giant Logs Trail, about a half a mile. Melanie's checking the notes she took.
The app.
Oh, checking the app. See what we're looking at. There are some big pieces here. A lot over there. Kind of a long broken up log there. The park is really big, and so we're just driving up the road, stopping at a couple different places, taking some short hikes. We were here 40 years ago, and I'm not even sure how much driving around we did, but I don't remember so much of the petrified logs just all over the place on the sides of hills as you're driving around. So I'm actually impressed. Melanie's really annoyed at this kid up here who is walking everywhere but on the trail. But I guess his parents aren't any better. So much of these petrified logs look like they were sawed up, but it's actually the hills that caused that. Here's a good example. Once the actual wood logs are petrified over millions of years, they're just laying on the ground, and as the ground erodes away, then they just crack to kind of follow the terrain. It's just like breaking a piece of chalk. Trying to look for good examples of the crystal in them. But just when you want the sun to shine, it's a little cloudy. pretty impressive how well the bark is preserved. Some of this still looks like it's real wood. I was just gonna say our last shot there, the sun was actually out. I was looking for some crystal shimmering in there, but didn't really see it. So we're not seeing exactly what Melanie wanted to see yet. We'll see what this is picking up here. I'll move around a little bit, get the sun on at different angles. All of these logs date back to the Triassic period, the early days of the dinosaurs. Next stop. They erected the cement structure underneath it in 1917, hoping to keep it from collapsing. But the sign here says that eventually water running under the bridge will make everything collapse. There are a few of these signs here in the park. Blue this really looks, grayish, but the lower colors are different than higher colors. We're at Newspaper Rock. It's quite a ways down there. I mean, you know, a couple hundred feet, and you can't go down there. So I'll zoom in on it and see what we get. From 1926 till 1958, the original Route 66 ran right along these poles, and it's not here anymore. But it's marked by this old Studebaker. And all the traffic is on Interstate 40. We're seeing 20 to 50 miles here. Here at this overlooking the Painted Desert, you can actually see up to 100 miles away on a clear day. Just wanted to get these two ravens. They look like statues, both sitting on those little pedestals. Quick stop at the Painted Desert Inn. One more shot. Get over to where the sun's shining and get all this red color.
Apparently, even though it says many places to not take anything out of the national park, people over the years have taken pieces of the petrified wood and they've gone back to their homes, and then they've had bad luck. So they decided they would send the petrified wood back so that they would have better luck. And apparently this happens, they've received wood back from like all over the world. But what happens is, even when it comes back, the forest rangers can't put it out into the park. So somewhere there are big piles of all this wood that has been taken and returned.
Arrived at the Thunderbird Lodge. It's actually a really nice looking place. For the most part, it's really quiet. And we're actually inside the Canyon de Chelly National Monument. So we're really close to our destination tomorrow. Here's our room. I think Melanie found a really cool place. Monday, July 29th. Okay, today we're driving around Canyon de Chelly. We're going to take the North Rim Drive, see some overlooks, and then back to the visitor center to take the South Rim Drive and see the overlooks there. You need to take a guided tour down into the canyon, so we're not going to do that. And the first stop here is at Antelope House, where we're going to overlook some ruins in the cliff sides. And then this trail, it's about a quarter of a mile, it has a couple of overlooks, so we'll see what's here. I like the way this trail is marked. This is kind of a cool overlook. Again, it's big enough that you can't really see all of it at once. Here's the next overlook. Another place where you just kind of can't get it all in. The Navajo people still live down here, and here's some corn that's been planted. Pretty hard to see. It is so nice and quiet up here that you can hear the stream that's running under that line of trees. This is one of the cool things about this place. Nice big parking lot, well paved, but at the moment just totally empty. Now on to Massacre Cave. There are actually 2 other cars in this parking lot.
Massacre Cave. In 1805, there was a Spanish group of soldiers, and they were coming for the Navajo, so the Navajo took shelter under that ledge. But however, the Spanish found them, and there were 115 Navajo then. The Spanish just shot from here and killed them all.
There is another overlook up this way.
We learned some things about Kit Carson we didn't realize. In 1863, he started a campaign against the Navajo. His job was to exterminate them. So in 1864, they drove all the Navajo to the mouth of the canyon, but then they had to return the next summer. And so then they returned and basically killed the Navajo, drove them out. They killed the sheep, they destroyed their hogans or their houses. So we didn't realize that he had such a reputation.
All right, we've traveled all the way down the South Rim Road to the end. We're going to work our way back and see the overlooks along the way. But kind of the highlight is right down here at the end. This is probably the most famous or most photographed part of Canyon de Chelly. And still, we are the only people around. This is Spider Rock. And I've read different things. It's somewhere between 750 and 800 feet tall. Another spire off in the distance. Really narrow through here. And this, I believe, is all water carved. Hard to believe that it's this, what looks like a muddy little creek, has done all that. This is such a cool view from every angle. It is so flat on top. If you were just on horseback a few hundred years ago riding through here, you wouldn't have any idea there was a canyon here until you were on the edge. Checking to see if she's got good shots.
I do. I really like it.
Moving on down the road to Face Rock Overlook. See anything in there?
No.
No. Alright. This is just a pretty sheer drop off. But there's a railing.
You have this side of the canyon.
Yeah.
And you go down to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom.
And then you come up and there's kind of a flat place. Up from that area there, are these like the eyebrows? And then two eyes and a nose.
I'll have to check the video later because I'm not getting it.
What do you get?
This looks kind of cool. Not really sure where the trail is, but it's marked. We're at the Sliding House Overlook. There's a couple spots to overlook the canyon here. Not sure whether we're looking at Sliding House there or over here farther.
Don't get caught on the prickly pear. I have to zoom in on this to see if there's some little hand and footholds going up to those little black spots. Or like I said, to the left of the footholds, there's that little cave-like place in there.
You kind of lose the idea that you're on top of a cliff just like on the other side. Pretty hard to pick out, but there are some ruins right in here.
Where?
This will be our last stop of the day here at Canyon de Chelly. It's the junction overlook, and this is the junction of Canyon de Chelly and Canyon del Muerto, which is what we actually followed earlier this morning when we went on the North Rim Road. Alright, we're thinking this is Canyon de Chelly here. And I guess I don't know whether it's straight across here where the Canyon del Muerto comes in, or Melanie thinks it's over here behind this rock, which is probably correct. Yeah, not sure, but I'm going to zoom in on the cliffs on the other side. There's supposed to be some sort of ruins over here, the junction ruins, but we don't know where they are. Oh, I think they're right over there. So left of that house on the valley floor. Tuesday, July 30th, just after 8 o'clock in the morning. We're in Aztec, New Mexico, and this is our last scheduled stop on this trip to some Aztec ruins. Although they aren't actually Aztec ruins, they were misnamed years ago. They're actually ancient Pueblo ruins, just like we've been seeing all over the place. These are from the 1100s to 1200s.
Great Kiva standing at the bottom of one of four columns holding the 95-ton wooden roof. The Great Kiva was fully restored in 1934. You're standing on a dirt floor surrounded by a circular plastered wall with 15 concentric rooms built around the center chamber. On the Great Kiva floor, there's also a fire pit, 2 floor vaults, 4 columns, and an outer bench. The shape of the Great Kiva is a keyhole, so that's a lofted altar area on the north side of the chamber. There are stairs to enter in and out of the space.
All right, these are short. In fact, I'm almost stuck on this one. I gotta get down on my knees. So it ends here. Gotta go back. The T-shaped doorways are the ones closest to the plaza. All right, more ducking down. Wow. At least the doorways are taller.
They're saying the temperature's probably dropped and it's fairly dark. The openings in the south have plexiglass, So it's the original mat of willow sewn with yucca and cord to cover the door. All over there, see?
Okay. Doing a little restoration work right now. Bump my head again.
Okay, the roof shows impressive layering of large and small logs. It's the original roof. That's impressive.
Yeah. Okay, back outside. So this is a rare tri-walled kiva. It's a fairly impressive complex. You can see the unique stripe down the side of the wall. This is Shiprock, and it really isn't a national park or national monument site. I just think it looks cool.